everybody. Welcome to Clone Yourself with AI. I'm Therese Tarleton. I'm so happy that you all decided to come today and actually learn a few new tricks with some of the programs that you're probably using and know about AI and how it can benefit you as a small business owner. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to share my screen and we'll get off to it. Amazing. So, as I said, this is really, as a small business owner, I have dealt with so many others, and we are all the same. We are trying to wear all the hats and do all the things. And so I just wanted to create this for us for today, for small business owners, to actually give us some shortcuts so we can get more time, more sales, and less overwhelm. So right now, I feel like we are wearing all the hats. It's so busy. We are either not getting what we need done because we simply just don't have the time and the resources to get everything done. So you're acting as every role in your company. Or we're doing it, but we're not doing it well, or we're getting some help and we're paying a lot for it. And so this was really, I guess, a decision of how can we use this differently? So from being in marketing for, since last century, I know that this is a common problem that we all have. So this is about, what if you could create a digital twin? What if you could create a whole team of AI assistants that could do the work for you to save you time, and so you haven't got the overwhelm, but also actually make you money? So for me, this is my opportunity to show you very, very quickly, very simply, how you can create your GPT in 2 minutes. And I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to do it live so you can actually see how easy it is to actually create your own GPT. Now, for anybody that doesn't know me, I'm Therese, and I am, as a profession, I guess I'm a keynote speaker. So I'm usually up on stage talking to an audience or doing a workshop with a group. And some of you I know through some of these workshops as well. I've got a book. It's called Swap Marketing Without Money. It's done pretty well. It's got a few gold medals and it won the Book of the Year in 2022. And it's a guide for businesses on how to do strategic partnerships with other brands so you can increase your reach. My first company that I set up was a manufacturing and distribution company. So I made products under license for Jeep and Benetton. Before I exited, which was great. I now help thousands of small businesses through incubators and business programs. And I guess if I had to describe what I do, it's a bit like that show Ready, Steady, Cook. Do you know what I mean? Ready, Steady, Cook. They get a goodie bag, a grocery bag, and they've got 5 ingredients and 20 minutes to make a 3-course meal. That's what I do with businesses. So I have an hour with a business and I actually go through what is their challenge, how to get through it, create an action plan, get them out the door pretty quickly to actually make them more profitable. So I love working with small businesses, and I think that we are the most nimble, agile, brave business owners. And so we need as much help as we can get to support us so we can be profitable. Through that, I've been able to actually get quite a few Google reviews. We've got lots of people who say nice things. And again, it's just coming from a place of I'm happy to help other business owners rise. I truly believe that a high tide lifts all boats. And so I want all of us to actually succeed. Right now, super, super, super happy. I've just actually signed an agreement. So I get to work with a massive multi-billion-dollar brand, about a $5 billion brand, on a project for the next year, which is super cool, and I will tell you more details soon. But I've gotten to help very, very tiny businesses right through to the billion-dollar ones. AI. I started using AI really, really early on. As someone in marketing, I've had to go through all the different digital technologies. So I survived the Y2K bug. My first job was launching the CDR, if you even know what that is. You know, I have built websites, I have evolved into social and apps and all the things. So AI is just the latest tool. So I've been teaching how to use AI since June 2023 when ChatGPT was in nappies. And so I've seen this toddler grow and evolve, and I really want to share how you guys can use it. I am, you know, I'm a Zennial. I'm a little bit a Gen X and a millennial. I love I can remember rewinding VHS tapes, but I can also know how to use all the tech tools. But I know what it's like to juggle all the things because I am that small business owner as well. And just personally, I'm a mum of adults. I have a paramedic and a pilot. I got married last century to my amazing husband, and I have a new love, which is my Bordoodle puppy, the cutest puppy ever. So how did this start for me? So this was all about me creating my first GPT. So I created a digital double of myself, and I called it Therese Talent and Speaker. And I basically loaded up all of my keynotes. I loaded in my book. I loaded in articles, podcast interviews, webinars, and I started creating a digital double or a doppelganger of myself so I could actually be more productive. So when I wanted to apply to speak at events or pitch to different companies, then I would actually ask my GPT to actually research that company, their values, and also the conference and the agenda and what their theme is. And using my knowledge base, actually look for what were the opportunities that I should grab hold of? How should I present myself in the best way to this company, knowing their values and my knowledge? And it would come up with, I guess, a topic that aligned with their industry. It would also position me as the expert for that industry and allow me to actually create emails and pitch decks to secure business. So that's how it kind of started for me. And I built that ages ago. And then I've been building more and more, you know, as I go to do specific tasks. So, you know, 6 months ago, not that long, but 6 months ago, it was pretty much about building a GPT. And now it's about building multiple GPTs. And if you can think about that, why that's important is it's kind of like, it's like trying to hire a unicorn. It's like when you have an amazing VA and you're like, oh, I want the VA to actually, you know, do my bookkeeping, but also edit videos. It's like, that's a really big remit for one person. So with building your own GPTs is super easy to do. And that's when you're actually going to give one job to one GPT and they have one objective for you to actually get that job done. But why am I talking about this now is because I have just created with my bestie, the Board of Besties GPT. So my beautiful friend, Tony, who is the owner of TH Brown, which is the beautiful chairs you see in front of you. That's a shot from the block, super cool. And so she actually invited her besties to come to Adelaide and we all assembled in the boardroom. And we had Heather from finance, we had myself, we had Nat, who was incredibly good at strategy and direction, and Vicky operations. And obviously Tony is a master at actually manufacturing and branding. So all of us got together, and what I did before that was I actually created a GPT. And in that we loaded up personas, we loaded up metadata, financials, company, brochures, things like that. And then in the boardroom, we strategized on all the things and actually recorded all the sessions. And now we have a best of the Board of Besties GPT for TH Brown, which is super cool. And it was from that I thought, you know what, Tony and I went to an event. A couple of days after that, we shared how we created the Board of Besties, and everybody was like, I want a Board of Besties. That's what I want. I need that. So it was really fun. And I thought, you know what, we should actually make this possible for more people. So for Tony, it was really about how can I actually grow the business. So she has a beautiful business and it is extraordinary, but obviously like lots of small business owners, it was like, how do I make it even better? And we actually have Tony is here, that my beautiful bestie has come along today. And so I might just get her, I guess, just to tell you what what we did and how it's working for her right now. So, hey, Tony.
Hey, how are you? Hi, everyone. So I suppose start at the beginning. So I had made a big, hefty goal for my business at the start of this year that we wanted to double the size. But as a small business owner, I have minimal staff, and I was drowning in decisions, making plans. I wanted to challenge myself in regards to my thinking. So I called on an amazing board of besties to come to Adelaide, as T said, and then Therese, I don't know, performed magic by developing this ChatGPT, which I didn't even realise that you could do in closed source and that I could build this. But what's been amazing since that is the amount of time it saved me, but also the strategy it's developed for me. So to give you an example, a week ago, I hired a small agency to set up my Klaviyo. So to set up 6 different flows, 16 EDMs, briefed them, it came back, and all the EDMs were just not correct. They did a good job, but they weren't exactly where we needed to. I fed that in and briefed it into what I now call as Bob, T.H. Brown's Bob, and literally within 10 minutes of tweaking, we had done 16 EDMs for my flow. I shot it back over to the expert and said, look, I'm sure you've got some changes, but this is more aligned to my brand. And she said it's some of the best flows she's ever seen, and it's right on brand, exactly to my target. And I went, that took me 10 minutes, where it probably would have taken me all weekend to get that right. So I think that gives you an example of the time it's saving, but also the strategy, that it's implementing the strategy that we worked on for our weekend for the board of besties.
That's so cool. And that's what it's about, right? Like we needed to give you you have everything's in your mind, everything's in your head. How do we get that out of your head and into something that can help you process those decisions, but also be there to actually do some heavy lifting for you, like the emails, like the flows, to actually get that out. So
yeah, look, I'll just add one more example, because that was on Friday of this last week. And then yesterday with my new intern, we needed to develop a strategy for some content to a target market. So we needed to have a hero avatar, which we developed. We need to do 12 different conversations targeting that hero avatar and develop that into a meta campaign. And I think that took us 15 minutes, and we have now a full brief on creatives, all the right audience targeting, and also the brief into, now we've just got to sit and build them all through Canva. But literally, again, that's something that probably would have normally taken me days.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tone. That's really cool. I really appreciate it. Thank you. All right. And so this is what I want for every one of us. Like we all should be able to do this quickly and easily. We are doing everything ourselves, and we don't have to. So this isn't about replacing you. This is about amplifying you and allowing you to spend time doing the things that that are bringing in money. And so this is really about showing you how you could create a board of besties, or you could create AI agents, which are like GPTs that could actually run different sections of your business. So for Tone, we're going to create, I think the next step is we're going to create like a meta ads GPT for her company, TH Brown, and we're going to be loading in the data and the ad creative and the click-through rates and everything else, and so we can get more efficient on that part of her business. So I know some of you might be like me, my kind of vintage, and thinking, I don't know, this looks a bit hard. But I'm here to tell you, there's probably one of the things that you're thinking is AI is just for techies, and it isn't. I am, a 50-year-old non-techie. So if I can do this, you can do this too. And it's been built in a frame that is very, very easy to use. And so this is around the ability to actually take very simple, take a tool and actually some very, very simple instructions to make it what you need it to be. And so I want you to think of ChatGPT or a GPT as like Tony was saying, like an intern that's coming into your business. And so what do you want the intern to do? What would you tell that intern about your company? What do they need to know? Where do they need to get the data from or the information? Or, how would you do that? So the first one is it's for everybody. It's not just for tech people. The second thing you're probably thinking is, I'm really bad at tech, which is something that I guess, all of us tell ourselves. Even I tell myself that sometimes because there's so many tools and so many buttons and I'm like, ugh. So this is really about making it super simple. So it's making it really, really easy. I have got all the frameworks for GPTs ready to go. If you can cut and paste, you can have a GPT for your content or for your email in just a few minutes. So this is just a really, really simple way to do it. And as Tony said, this is around like we can actually craft the emails, the content, the personas, the meta ads, all the things we actually need. And the third one is, I actually need to hire, people to do this. And I think the thing around this is you probably don't even realize what the AI tools can do. So today we're specifically kind of talking more around ChatGPT and building a GPT. But when I started talking about AI in June 2023, there was a handful of tools. By Christmas that year, there was about 1,500. By Christmas last year, 2024, there was about 15,000. Last time I checked, I think we're hitting about 40,000 now, so 3 months later. And by the end of this year, by Christmas 2025, there's going to be about 1 million different AI tools. So this is just snowballing. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so there is an AI that can pretty much help you with most areas of your business. And that's why we see in ChatGPT, when we explore GPTs, if you're a restaurant, there's menu creators. If you're in an accounting, there's actually an Australian tax law GPT. There is GPTs being developed for everything. So it's about how to access those GPTs. And then you actually link, it's called daisy chain, where you link your GPT that's got all your information into it with another GPT like Canva or an SEO helper to then help you craft what you're trying to do with another expert GPT. Okay, so that's where the magic is. So this is not about replacing you at all. This is seriously about kind of freeing up some of your time to get rid of all those really manual things that you seem to do all the time. So what can you use it for? So I get asked this all the time. And as I said, the answer is pretty much everything. But just to be really straightforward and very, very transparent and honest about this, you can do anything, right? Anything. But it's really about what are you actually trying to get done. So do you want to create an automation for a task that only takes 3 minutes? Maybe not. Or do you want to create a GPT, but maybe there's one that already exists and you could just build your GPT and tie it to actually get the result you need. So it's really about identifying like what is the problem that you want, and then what is the outcome. So if there are GPTs that they have one job, and that is literally to get emails via like a chat on your website. Obviously, we've all heard of things like ManyChat, where we can actually take someone off social and into our database. Brilliant. So that's an AI tool that's free that we can tap into. And then the third thing is, what information do we need to build it? And this is probably, when I say hard, this is probably the hardest thing. We as small business owners, I think we just do everything on autopilot all the time. Like we just, and so have we got a process written down? So sometimes you need to step 2 steps back to kind of go, okay, what do I do? What's the first step, then the second step, and the third step? And again, there's an AI tool that can actually create all of these SOPs, or standard operating procedures, SOPs for your business, just by following you around the screen. and actually taking screenshots and explanations so it can create instructions. So again, like Tony, if you had an intern coming in, then instead of, you could actually take them through that process, and then that process can get documented. So the next time somebody comes into your business, they're ready to go. Super easy. So what can you use it for? And so this is, as I said, there are so many tasks. As I said, there's 40,000 GPTs right now. So you can definitely use it for content, around creating content for your business. And that can be around creating the content. It can be about scheduling it on multiple platforms. It can be around reformatting that. So taking it from video into audio, into transcription, so into copy, and then into threads, reels, into an article, a press release. So how do you take one thing and make it into many, which is obviously what I love, which is repurposing. That can do emails in terms of creating that email flow, as Tony said, but also how I'm using it. So pitches and proposals to big customers, and you can also, again, sequence all of those for after events. Research. It's a really big thing. So I'm using it to actually research like events that are happening, who those speakers are, what the topics were last year, what would be in line with a great topic to offer that kind of venue. So you can look at what are the trends, what are competitors doing, and how you can identify that opportunity for yourself. And obviously, even lead generation. So I want to, if you've got a specific customer that you want to attract, we can absolutely create tasks around finding that customer, going to their website, looking at what they are, and then automatically creating emails that would be tailored to that company, which is pretty cool. So and then the other question I get asked all the time is, why would I build one when there are so many already? Like, if there's 40,000, why do I need to build one? And so this is about your voice. So if I drew a triangle right now, so there's my triangle. It's AI plus automation plus your voice, which creates the magic. So if we just have AI, we're going to AI and we're asking for it to do something, but it's pretty generic. And then if we have AI, but we actually load up your information, your value, your interests, everything about you, how you do a sales call, how you do a pitch, what is your unique proposition, methodology, IP, what do you own? And how do you do it with your customers? So if you're dealing with tradies versus lawyers, then obviously there's a very different voice. So when you create your own GPT, it is about actually looking at your processes, your IP, your methodology, and actually bringing it in. So when it is creating, when you're asking it questions, it's referencing your data, so your knowledge, your words. So when I ask it to write something for me, it knows my voice so well, it can create that narrative, but also it draws in and it says, if you want to see this, here's the link. If you want to watch this, here's the link. It actually brings all of that data into that, so I don't have to craft it again. So if you've done anything in terms of speaking, now this could be a workshop, but it could just be a normal old Zoom call that you've done to a prospect, like a sales call. That is excellent in terms of being able to create that narrative of how you would normally have that call, how casual you are, what questions do you ask that customer. If you've been on any podcasts or webinars or seminars or events, so it's pretty much any time that you're talking, and so that includes staff training as well. So anytime you're explaining what you do, how you do it, what's next, what's the outcome. So anytime you're talking, that is your methodology and your IP. And so we can put your IP into a GPT and close it. And so therefore you can get results out of the GPT that are your voice, your knowledge, your IP, and not just generic blah, blah from a chatbot. And the other thing is around, like, but can you protect it as well? And the answer is yes. I'm going to take you through and show you that you can protect it from anybody, or you can open it up. I'll tell you why as well. So how do you build a GPT? Okay, so here's the thing. It's super simple. I'm going to show you a video. But see this tiny little document here? this is it. This is all you need to do. We need a name, a description, some instructions, some conversation starters, and we need a knowledge base. So it is very simple. And so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play this video. It goes for 2 minutes. We're going to build a GPT. I built one just last night, so we can actually, take it through. And I'm just going to show you and walk you through these steps so you can see how easy it is. So literally when you finish this call, you could jump off and do it yourself. So what it starts with is actually you going on to your chat GPT, and then in the top right-hand corner where your login is, there's a button, Create GPT. So all you do is create a new GPT, then you can upload a logo. I'm going to show you this. You can use one logo yourself, or you can get AI to create it. Then we need a name. So again, I'm tending to just call my GPTs names like Sally and Emma and Monica because that is how I describe them. And then we have a description. So just a short description of what is the objective, what is this person's role. Now the instructions that is again, like if you were hiring an intern or a VA, what do you need to tell them about your company, about your customers, about where to get the data, about what you want them to do and what you don't want them to do. So for example, I want you to reference everything in UK English because we speak in Australia, we speak Australian, the closest is UK English, so we don't get any Zs and things like that. And so the instructions are super important. The next thing is around the conversation starters. So when you look at a GPT, you can see there are little boxes that come in underneath the GPT. And these are so if somebody lands on it or you jump on your GPT, it pretty much can start you off. So what do you want to do today? So you can just press that button. And then the last thing is around what do you attach? So again, all of this is outlined for you. But for example, we might want frequently asked questions. We might put up our sales scripts that have actually done quite well and converted. We might put up company history. And then the last button I'm just showing you that is around like whether you actually want data or not. So there's a button that actually performs really in-depth maths and analytics equations, and you can turn that off or turn it on. And right now, what I did is actually I just got AI to create an image for me through DALL-E. Now, these are the three options: only me, someone with a link, or the GPT store. So only you is only you. Anyone with the link, clearly, anyone with the link. And the GPT store is when you go on ChatGPT and explore all GPTs. So these are how you can lock it down so it's only you. You can open it up to maybe a small amount of people like your staff, and then you can actually open it up for everybody. And as you can see now on the left-hand side, I now have a new GPT that is pinned to the side that I can use at any time. So that is as simple as it is. However, like marketing, like losing weight, like anything that has a good payoff, it is really about the instructions and the knowledge base. So it is really important that you have very clear instructions, and it is equally as important that you teach your GPT about your company so it can provide the highest level of output for you and make it really tailored to your voice. So I'm going to take you through now and actually show you. So in the instructions, so again, pretend you had an intern. This is about the context of the business. It is about what the role of the GPT is. So it's kind of like a job description. And you can go through in terms of, I want these emails to be short. I only want them to be 3 paragraphs. People don't have time for long emails. I want every email to have a call to action. So to book a time with me, or to download this white paper, or to watch my webinar. The language, Australian, so UK English. I also want it to be really bubbly and uplifting. I don't want it to be too professional. And then you've got do's and don'ts. Like, I hate the word, elevate your space. I don't want anything with rocket emojis. I don't want, I don't want double dashes. I don't want, there's probably some words that you see all the time and you're like, oh my gosh, please don't say that word. I hate it. So these are the things. So when you're creating your GPT, name, description, instructions. So think of the instructions as a job description. And then you've got the next bit, which is your knowledge base. Now, there's a heap of text on this slide. Here's the thing. These are just some things that you might put in a knowledge base. But this is really about, for your GPT, what we're going to build, it will be different things. So sales scripts and customer service responses would go into a customer service GPT. Whereas a cost of goods sold breakdowns would actually be in your finance GPT or your financial controller GPT. So you can actually look at different things that are around documents, like training manuals for staff. You can look at sales. You can look at tender documents and bids that you've done. So which was successful, which ones weren't. Go and research, who's providing the tender. Look at their values. Now mirror that in this tender. How do my values align with their values? So things like that. You can do presentations and workshop materials. You could have dashboards. You could have supplier and procurement if you're in manufacturing. So this is around what are the documents that you're uploading for the GPT to do its job. So just like, as I said, if you were creating one GPT, you could load up a heap of things. If you were creating individual GPTs, so around one role or one department in your business, then you just use some of these to put into the different GPTs. And then you need to teach it. So again, like, what are you going to actually input? So from a video, yes, video, but transcripts are better. Videos can actually look at your tone of voice. So you can actually put some audio files in there as well. Definitely products, colors. You can put brand guidelines, infographics. So what are the images that represent what you do and how you do it? It could even be procedures or instruction manuals that you actually want to upload for your customers. So audio files. I love audio files, as I said, because I think when you have a sales conversation with a potential customer, that's your real voice. You really want to make sure that customer knows how you can help them. And you describe that in a really beautiful, eloquent way from your years of experience. You don't need a copywriter to do that. You need to be able to articulate that. Of course, you could give it a bit of a polish, but essentially we want to keep your tone of voice and we want to keep your uniqueness about it. And obviously we've got our visual assets like our logos and brand elements and presentation templates that actually keep us on brand as well. And so this is really about, would you want a team who you don't have to pay for? I mean, is that a yes? I think a few of us would. Who would like a team you don't have to pay for? So cool, right? So this is what I want to help you do, because I'm just like you, just a small business owner trying to wear all the hats. So what we're going to do is pretty much in just a few hours, I have written the job descriptions and what you need to put in a knowledge base for these are just some of them. So if you want to create a podcast, there's a podcast creator GPT. We've got one for content. We've got a frequently asked questions one. We've got an email one. If you want to become a thought leader, so for me as a speaker, I want to become a thought leader, and so I can create that. We could create for you specialty ones like Tony, where she's got her board of besties. So that is, I can help you teach you how to actually do that in terms of having the conversations with people that you respect. Maybe it's a mentor, getting that information, transcribing it, creating a GPT, which is then a mentoring GPT. So this is around what are the team members that you need for your team? And then what are the quick wins that we can get from this? What are the things we need to automate to actually make it go all the way through so we don't touch it? So it could be that there's automations where we could actually have a spreadsheet with 10 topics. We can then run an automation that goes to our GPT, and it actually gets our GPT to write that 400 or 1,000 word blog. And then it actually creates a Google document with that blog. It goes back to the spreadsheet and drops in the link for the Google spreadsheet, and it summarizes and does a little summary of what it's written. And then it takes that blog and it actually posts it on LinkedIn and then it posts it as an article on your website, and then it might even be like your Google Business reviews as well, so your Google Business update. And so it can do this, and we can time it to happen every Monday at 10 o'clock. And so every Monday at 10 o'clock on that spreadsheet, it will literally start at number 1, and it will do the whole procedure and go down to number 2 on week 2 and do the whole procedure and come back. So this is around things that we want to do without us. And then there are things that obviously we can stop it. We can have it so it does it. And then we check the Google Doc, and then we actually say, yes, keep proceeding. So we can help it be the best that it can be, okay? And again, this is about, if you're creating a GPT, this is about your voice, your methodology, your IP. And so we're drawing on these things to do it. So I'm just looking at the chat. So how does building your own GPT work in with the new project set up in OpenAI? Oh, great question, Belinda. I'm totally going to do that. So just the project section, which I've got a slide on coming up, is a really new feature of ChatGPT. It is in their $20 Pro plan. And a new project is kind of like a GPT. What you can't do in a new project, though, is you can't kind of daisy chain in your other GPTs. So if there was another GPT that you wanted to access, so say, for example, Canva, or if it was a sales page creator GPT, then it doesn't actually include that. And you, from a project point of view, you can actually get other people to have questions in it, but it's quite closed. Whereas a GPT that you can create, you can actually get other people to edit that. How does it do the posting? Okay, so yes, so there is. Oh, actually, I'll tell you. It's coming. So what I want to do is I want to help you. And so this is very, very simple in terms of, this is about actually cloning yourself. So what I've got is, I've got some training that you can access if it's 10 o'clock at night and you've got a half an hour and you want to learn how to do a new trick with a piece of software. So all the training is there. You will have all the prompts already built for create all of these GPTs. So you are ready to go. You literally, if you can cut and paste, you're in. So it's the scripts to actually help that to happen. Now with the knowledge base, there's a whole section on developing your knowledge base, because clearly I can give you the prompts so you can create that document about what is your brand voice, but we actually need that document created. So what is your brand voice? And so then you can attach that to your knowledge base. So how many things you can attach to a knowledge base, what format they need to be in, because you can't upload all the different files. And so how do you actually do it? And because I know we're all super busy and we're all trying to actually get stuff done, what I've done is actually created it. So we're going to start next week. We're going to do a few 2-hour sessions, and literally by the following Friday, so by the first week in April, you will have all your GPTs done, easy. So you will be with me. I will teach you in person how to do it as well. And then we've actually got a workroom. And so you can come to that workroom and go, this isn't working, and do a screenshot, or we can jump on and I can say, oh, you need to click this button and do this. So we've got a workroom where you can come into, and then I'm going to have a community where you can ask questions, a Facebook group. And so you can ask questions and go, how would I do this? Or because there might be an AI that already does it, and so you don't need to do it yourself. I just put this in. It's a little bit of, I'm a safe pair of hands. I have 250 small business owners that have worked with me, that have given me a spot in their business so I can actually help them, and I take that very, very seriously. So, so I have 250 5-star Google reviews from clients. So I'm a safe bet. That's all I'll say. But I guess in terms of for today, this is really like, if this was what you did, like if it could save you, 10 hours a week, which is pretty much what I guess people are suggesting. If you could actually do those emails, if you could actually get that lead done, if you could, like what Tony was saying, if you had to write those 16 emails, how long would it take you to do that? If you had to create that content, if you wanted to get a podcast, like what would it take to do that? So this is, I would love to help you do this. As I said, it's kind of, I just want to see more business owners grow. That's why I've been mentoring businesses for 18 years. And so this is, so what I'm suggesting is that this is all about how I can help you. I've kept it at the lowest price I possibly could. So you will have all the recordings for everything, to actually take you through all the different tools. You'll have all the templates to actually create all those GPTs, so you can just get up and going super quickly, and in like minutes. You saw how long it took. And then we've actually got those 6 hours where you're with me, where we're actually going to build it. And you can actually say, what does this button do? Or should I include this? Or should this be in the knowledge base? Or should this be in the instructions? Where should I put it? And then you can keep asking all those questions for the whole of April. And then all of those videos, so I'm recording every single thing, and all of those videos will actually be there for you to access anytime. Because I know some of us, we watch it and then we're like, okay, yeah, that's really easy. And then we get to actually doing it and we're like, what was the button again? What do I press? So I'll make sure everything is recorded for you, so you've actually got that. And just for today, if you would, if that's of interest to you and you want to jump on board, then anyone who jumps on board today is going to get, I'll do a one-on-one strategy call with you, so we can actually work out what are the GPTs that you need to build, and actually start to help you map that process, or create a mapping for a process that you can then work on. So then when you actually go to do it, then it's super simple and it's ready for you to go. So so this was really around like, how can we make it as easy as possible? Because I know we're all super short on time, and the reason I guess I've done it over a couple of weeks, those calls, is because sometimes if we just have 6 months to do it, we just don't end up doing it. And I know that I have bought courses with the best intentions and then just not got around to doing it, which is terrible. And so this is around doing it will save you time. Doing it will save you money as well. But more so, it allows you to actually concentrate on the stuff that you're really good at, and getting out and seeing customers and spending time with them, and having the other stuff, all the stuff that you have to do, just going on behind the scenes. And so, yeah, so to just talking about projects again. So this is just and we're going to go through projects as well, but this is something in ChatGPT. If you've got Pro, you can access it. So all of those chats, so that, like, if you've been playing with ChatGPT for a year, you can actually migrate over. If you go onto the paid program, paid Pro plan, the $20 plan, then you can actually migrate over all of your old chats, which is cool. And then also you can actually start creating projects. So you can actually click on that chat, you can add to a project and actually put it in. And so then it's actually keeping all of that in one spot. Because I know I have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of conversations, and you're like, I'm sure I did this before. I asked somebody to do this around blogs. And so it allows you, if you're working on a project like an event or a launch or something, you can create that project, and then you can add in like, okay, I want to like, for this project, we need emails, we need social media, we need a pitch kit, we need like all these things. And so this is the things that you can do with projects. And the other thing is around tasks. I am loving this. This is new. It's only been out a couple of weeks, and there is ChatGPT 4.0 with scheduled tasks. So, for example, I've set up a task to do research every week and come and, go around the world and find which brands are collaborating, what the latest promotions are around those brand collaborations, and actually do the research and then write it in a way that I could post directly onto LinkedIn. So that's a task. There's another task around a call for speakers. So how do you actually, like, what's happening in the world. And so I've got a weekly email that's coming to me from ChatGPT where it's actually searched the internet and coming back with events that I would be applicable for.
Hi, Therese.
Hi.
I think Susan has a question about the time for the calls.
Yes.
Yeah, she
Oh,
was asking for the time of the calls.
great question. So I've done them at 9:30 each morning. They will be recorded. We can definitely, I'm just going to see like how many of you, if that time doesn't work, we might be able to like move it around and do it kind of lunchtime or something as well. So we'll take the consensus, but at this point it is going to be at 9:30 on those Thursday and Tuesday mornings for 2 hours. Great. And yeah, so these tasks, so as I said, I've got an email coming with research, and I've also got a task which is being updated every single week with research, so I can just grab it at any time. What time zone? Oh, great question, Belinda. So that is Sydney time. So 9:30 Sydney time. I think if you're in Queensland, we might be able to, we'll see what we can do. And I'm just looking at the questions. So Amy, when looking to explore GPTs and chat, if you do use one of these existing GPTs, would we be passing on our information to the owner of that GPT, thinking about what information we should be mindful of sharing with external sources? Great question. So when you call on a GPT, so for example, Canva or SEO, then you are you're pretty much calling their instructions. So their instructions that they have built actually to create a sales page or to create effective SEO. To the letter of the law, that is, they are not allowed to extract that data that is in that chat unless you are on their own GPT. Full disclaimer, anything that you are really, really particular about, I'd always be careful with any GPTs. I guess it's one of those things where we don't actually know the long term of what is happening with this. We know that we can definitely open up a GPT and we can get more sales from it. So we could create all of our frequently asked questions and we could have an open GPT. And so then when ChatGPT is looking for a speaker in Queensland, then it will say, you should totally look at Belinda Beattie. So we can open it up if we want to use it as a form of promotion, or we can close it. So Amy, if you're calling on another GPT, your data should not be compromised. But I would always just make sure that the data maybe doesn't have your name on it, so it actually just kind of has your initials, or if there's anything particularly sensitive, just as a matter of precaution, I would say. But with the GPTs, obviously they are, if you have it as a link or you have it as closed, then both of those GPTs, your information is not going into ChatGPT. Great. Awesome. Thank you. So tasks is the newest, coolest thing. Totally get on board. Inside, these are kind of my favorite tools that I love playing with. So I'm all over Magic Studio on Canva in terms of their AI and creating everything, bulk uploads, creating kind of moving pictures for your Google profile, all the fun stuff. We'll be definitely going in deep with ChatGPT. With some of these tools, you might need an OpenAI account, which is, again, very simple. I know they are the same, but not the same. You have to open up an OpenAI account. And that's if you want to use something like Make. Make is the coolest tool, the coolest on the street right now. And that is what I was describing in terms of if you want to make a sequence. So you go You say step one, like step one might be go to Reddit and actually find the articles that are having the most views, and then go to ChatGPT and look at my knowledge base and how could I rewrite this article with a different slant, and then create that article and put it back into Google, and then create that and actually put it onto, you know, I want you to summarize it and make it 100 words for Instagram. I want you to make it 1,000 words for my website. And I want you to make it 400 words for LinkedIn. So make is something that you can automate your sequences. Cast Magic, amazing tool. And so that is around podcasts. So it's not around podcasts. It's around an audio or video clip. So what I do is I show my clients how to use it. So you can take like a little tiny 4-minute video clip. So it could just be an answer to a sales question. So think about that. You have a Zoom call, customer asks you a question, you give them your best answer, and then you take that one little clip, you put it into Cast Magic, and Cast Magic will create an email, threads, sound bites, a blog. It will create quotable quotes. It will create about 50 different pieces of content from that one tiny bit of content, which is so cool. Same but different. Opus Clip, I can actually upload a video. It will automatically find my most viral clips from that video. It will clip them. It will add captions. These are, and full disclaimer, I am hopeless at video and like editing video. So these are for like L-plate beginners, I swear. You don't do anything. You just upload the video and press go. So Opus Clip is amazing, and Descript is video editing for dummies. I'm saying that to me, which is you edit via a Word document, not the little moving 1 second, couldn't get the frame, send me crazy. And Grok, I don't know if you're into Grok yet. Grok is like the new cool kid in town. It is Elon Musk's GPT, ChatGPT. It's called Grok. And when you ask Grok what the difference between Grok and ChatGPT is, it says, I'm like the cool cousin who's really into social and knows what the word on the street is. And so I've got your back. And I've been using it to actually rewrite some stuff so it's not corporate, like it's actually way more engaging and conversational. So it's pretty cool. So we're going to look at all those fun stuff. But as I said, the main thing that we're going to do is get you up and running with your own GPTs. However, once you get up and running, you might want to actually take that video and do something else with it and edit it and do a few things. So there is going to be a whole little village of AI to support you to take what you have, your IP, and multiply it, amplify it, repurpose it to go wild. So is closed the same as paid? Closed, no. So when we create our GPT, we can have 3 options. We can actually have it closed. So for example, I'm writing my next book and I've got it closed. It's only on my laptop, like it's only available for me. Then we've got with a link. So a link could be to your team. So Tony's Board of Besties, we can access that. And so we can actually contribute to that. We could upload files. We could put our conversation there. So a link is other people can access it, like your staff or your VA. And the third one is explore, is open to the world. And again, you might want to do that to actually have a really good representation of your brand. So and all of those 3, to create a GPT, any GPT, you need to be on the Pro plan. So that's the $20 Pro plan. So that's pretty much the only thing that you need to pay for. All these other tools have got like free bits and whatever. The Canva Magic Studio is not free. Again, if there is things that you have to pay for, I'm looking for like the cheapest or things for you to try for free and see if you like it. And Belinda, what's the start date? So the start date is Thursday, the 27th of March. Thursday, the 27th of March. Yeah, I know a few of us have got Brisbane this weekend. So I wanted to make sure we're over that. We're back. So Thursday, the 27th, and then Tuesday, the 1st, and then Thursday, the 4th. So once again, just letting you know, so as I said, it includes all the sessions, everything you need. You'll be up and running. You'll be like high-fiving how clever you are for doing this. If you would like to join me, I would love to take this journey with you. Of course, there's a money-back guarantee. Of course, if you're not happy, I'm not happy. Totally no problem. So you can either access that deal from my website, theresetalenton.com/clone yourself, or you can use this little code and scan it. And as I said, so is there any questions? Is there any questions in the chat? Does anyone want to come off mute?